for the Oak Hill Regional Community Development Center, which is the parent company for the Healthy Kids Mississippi. And I will be your moderator for today. We also have this morning with us Mrs. Lottie Miner, who is the project director for the Oak Hill Regional Community Development Center, and Mr. Duke Roberson, who is our technology and metrics director, and he will assist us with technology today. We recognize our board chair, Jennifer Garrett, and our executive director, Dr. Michael O. Miner. And in addition to this Zoom cast, we are restreaming today webinar on Oak Hill's Regional CDC and Healthy Kids Mississippi Facebook pages. Feel free to share with your social media pages. Today, we will continue to talk about our local resources and provide some information from two dynamic panelists, Mrs. Carolyn Barnett and Mrs. Laquidra Giles. Mrs. Barnett is from the head librarian at the First Regional Library in South Haven. First Regional Libraries is a 5-county public health cooperative with 14 branches located in northern Mississippi. The region was formed among DeSoto, Tate, Panola, and Lafayette counties in 1950, and Tunica joined in 1968. Carolyn will introduce you to some of the wonderful services that the library has for children and for adults and for families. And I must say that I met her about 3 years ago when Oak Hill asked if they would partner with us and allow us to have a booth at the South Haven Library to introduce families to the Affordable Care Act. And so we've been working with her ever since, and she's a wonderful person. So please, Carolyn will be our first speaker for today. And then we will hear from Laquidra Giles, who is, she works with the Aaron Henry Community Health Qualified Centers in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And there are over 275 community health centers located throughout Mississippi. So she's going to share with you some of the services that are available there. So now we'll get started, and I'll tell you just a little bit more about Carolyn. Carolyn had her first full-time job as a Girl Scout. She grew up in Memphis, and she currently works, as I said, at the First Regional Library and she's been working with libraries for over 35 years. So evidently she likes what she does. And I say maybe even love what she does. And she started out reading to children at story time and having other kind of literacy events and planning programs. And today, again, as I said, she is the head coordinator, the head librarian. And she loves to work with children and families. And she says she loves singing in her choir, being outdoors, reading and meeting new people every day at the library. So I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn and say, welcome, Carolyn. And thank you so very much for agreeing to be a speaker today.
Well, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. And I'm old enough that when I first was a children's librarian in the Memphis Public Library system, children would say, Carol Burnett is coming, Carol Burnett is coming. And they were always disappointed when it was Caroline Barnett. But it's good to be here with you today. And I'm thrilled to tell you about a lot of the resources that we have. And I want to first say the libraries are open. We've been open forever. We still get calls every day asking if the library is open. And yes, we are. We are certainly still maintaining all our safety protocols. And currently, the First Regional Library is not offering in-house programs for children up to 5 years old, just because they're our most vulnerable right now during the Omicron. But we are hoping to go back to offering lots of programs. We have a wonderful children's librarian here at our branch, as well as a teen librarian. Kumasi Turner is our teen librarian, and Nettie Moore is our children's librarian. All 14 of our libraries have a youth services person who is ready to help and eager to help you and your family and your teachers. So I do want to just share a few kinds of things. I hope everybody, first of all, the most important thing, I want to be sure everybody has their library cards. Very easy to come in and get a library card. for yourself and your children. Library cards are free if you live, work, or go to school in any of our 5 counties. So it's a resource well worth having, because it opens the door not only to our materials that we have in our libraries, but also our online resources. I'll share some of those with you as well. I wanted to be sure that you know the library has books for every age. We've got board books. We have some books in Spanish for our families who are Spanish speaking. We have lots of beautiful, wonderful picture books. I hope this is showing right side on the screen. We also have for young children, lots of books about learning, just different things that they learn in school, but also things that they might just be interested in learning about. You may not know, and not every library does, but many of our libraries have puzzles. So we have big floor puzzles that you can check out, just like the books. We have puppets that check out, just like the books. Our branch has about 50 puppets, and we always debate whether we should keep all the puppets out, because of course they move all over the building. We find monkeys over and elephants over in the adult books. But if we don't have all the puppets out, a child comes in and says, "You don't have the golden retriever puppet anymore." So we have to keep all the puppets out, and every day we pick all the puppets up. So another resource that we have are videos. Still have lots of DVDs if you're not streaming yet, or if you're using both things. We have books that kids like just for fun. Pete the Cat's very popular, and it amazes me. My 3-year-old nephew, great nephew, knows all the superhero characters. So we do have books for young children about the superhero characters. We have some great resources for parents working with their children, doing all kinds of things. There's a big emphasis, I know you're all aware, big emphasis on science and technology, math, things for all ages. We still have some of the basics, phonics, and those sorts of things to work with your child on reading. Our library, Nettie has done a lot of work to be welcoming and to be aware of what is helpful for families, particularly families affected by autism. We have a lot of resources, including a magazine on working with your child who might be affected by autism. That is something that we work hard on. We try to have a place for children to sit where they can not be as overwhelmed by the noise of other things. We try to pick some movies and things that would be appealing to children affected by autism. So we do try to be aware, and we're always open to suggestions from parents, from families about things that would be helpful for them when they come to the library. Most of our libraries, most of our branches have a games computer for children, other kinds of resources we have, toilet training, all the things that parents go through. We try to have resources available on those things. We do also offer, and this is something that we've always done, but I think it's something that we are trying to emphasize now. If you're in a hurry, which everybody is trying to, and also maybe don't want to come in and stay long in a place where there are other people around who might, not be being as careful as you want to be, we offer curbside pickup. If you call and say, "My kid likes dinosaurs and trucks," we'll be glad to pull books for you, check them out, bring them out to the front when you call and say you're in the front of the library. So we are, trying to be as helpful as we can to you. During the early days of COVID, we're also providing curbside pickup of things like faxing and scanning, which we can still do, but it's a little easier, I think, now for people to come in and do that. We really considered moving our copier to the front door because our building is big enough that it was a little bit of a trip to walk around and bring all those materials. But we certainly want to welcome you to the libraries. It's very easy to get a library card. You just need to bring some ID that shows your current local address, and you can have that on your phone. You can have a piece of mail with you. If you've moved recently and haven't changed your driver's license address, you can just bring in something else that shows your address. But we really welcome all ages. Just so you know, we also have large print books. More people who are older read those, but we also have younger, some families whose children have some vision issues. We can introduce you to the resource through the Mississippi Library Commission of the Library for the Blind and visually handicapped, because that is a free resource actually in every state. That's a federal program, but that's something that people don't always think about if they have children who maybe have vision problems, but that is a free service. And actually those materials are delivered by mail directly to your home, and you receive a player. So all of those things are provided. So there are a lot of resources that we can help you find, as well as the resources that we have in the library. We are associated with a lot of organizations that we can provide information. At our library, as Bettina mentioned, her group has had a table set up in the foyer, but we also have meeting rooms that groups use, and we have a lot of community groups who use the meeting rooms. And so we know about resources that are available for everyone of all ages. We do have a number of resources online, and I'm going to quickly show that to you now. Let me see if I can share the screen. The library's website is firstregional.org. I do want to stress, I think your service area is perhaps a little bigger than ours. And I want to say that all of these resources are going to be available at any public library if you live in a different county than we are in. But also if you, for example, work, we have people who live farther south than our community goes, but they work in South Haven or they work in Horn Lake. So you're eligible for a free library card if you work in our communities. So the First Regional Library website, though, I just wanted to show you the library catalog. You can look up books and place holds on things. If, for example, a book is at the Oxford Library and it's one that you'd like to have here at the South Haven branch, we have a delivery service where things are delivered every weekday. So it's not an issue to do that. We also are in partnership with many of the libraries throughout the state. So if something is available, for instance, at one of the community colleges or at Mississippi State, we can get that for you. We get that delivery once a week. So the resources are really unlimited for that. And there are a lot of things that you can do looking for that. We also have a number of ebooks, which are downloadable for free. And you can actually get a digital library card, not even come into the library if you want to do that. And this shows you some of our current new holdings, but we have all sorts of resources for teens, adults, children, and magazines, as well as books. And all of those are current things. You can look up lots of things available here. Another resource that I want to be sure you're aware of, get back to our home page. Oh, let me just put that in. But the library has set up some, just get to this research page. This research research page, we have a number of databases where you can look up materials. And I will say this is a very helpful thing if, for example, your child has been diagnosed with something that you don't know very much about, and maybe you've been referred somewhere, but you want to read up on it. A lot of current medical information is going to be more likely to be found in these databases, in these magazine articles, be more current than possibly what we have in books. There's a free practice test for your driver's license. This Learning Express library is one that is very helpful. Because it is basically study prep for all kinds of things: cosmetology, GED, college prep, resources for younger children, high school students, adult core skills, preparing for all those tests. So all of these things are free online with your First Regional Library card. We also have, if you're interested in things like genealogy or local history, we have those sorts of things. One other thing I want to quickly point out, at the very top of the homepage, Tax Help 2022. That is something we get asked about a lot, and this gives you the locations where free tax help is being offered this year. The library in Horn Lake and the library in South Haven, our branch, have where you can drop off your materials, make an appointment and drop off. There are some other resources that are going to be added. There's the Tunica Library will also have in-house or drop off of your materials. So a lot of resources like that, the library can connect you with that. I did want to also show you our upcoming events page is where we have all of the programs at all of our branches listed. You're certainly welcome to go to any library for any program. This just lists by the date, but you can also look up the library you live close to and find that. We are still doing some virtual programs. And we have a lot of things that we do in conjunction. For example, we have an art program for adults coming up February with the Dixon Art Gallery. The South Haven Arts Council does a monthly adult and teen craft night, as well as lots and lots of programs for younger children, writing club. You can see all kinds of things here. Stop my screen share. And so I just want to be sure that you know that the library has lots of resources that you might not be aware of or see when you first come in the door. And of course, your best resource is to ask, because that's what we're trained to do and what we love to do. We also have magazines for adults, and we just have our branch has newspapers. So just kind of the gamut of old and new resources. So we hope that you'll take advantage of that and always call and see, if there's something that we can help you with or find. We are always open to ordering materials. If there's something that you say, gosh, you don't have any books on. For example, recently, we realized we didn't have very many current books on starting a business, and lots of people are doing that now. So we've ordered a lot of resources on starting your own business, doing your own accounting, that sort of thing. So we really do run the gamut and certainly want to provide whatever resource you need help with. So thank you.
Thank you, Caroline, for the wonderful presentation. One of the things that I noticed that when I was at the library, there's this poll, and on that poll, there were a whole bunch of jobs that were posted. So I want to make sure that people know about that they can come in, and it was pretty current, and they can come in and they can look and see what jobs are being offered in their area.
Right. And I can't believe I didn't even say this, because this is what we do almost all day, more than almost anything besides checking out books. Of course, the library has computers that are available for free for you to use. And, that's what we do, is help people with filling out job applications and posting your resume, or faxing the information you need to the Department of Human Services, or all of those kinds of things. So we, if we don't know how to do it, we do know how to figure out how to do it. But we actually, it's kind of gotten to be a challenge, because we have 3 people who are under 30 on our staff at the South Haven Library, and the rest of us are over 60. But we are not about to let those younger people say that they know how to do something on the computer that we don't know how to do. And we who are over 60 get very offended when it is funny to watch. People will come in and they'll come immediately to one of the younger people if they need help on the computer. And I can just see the other staff going, I can help you. I can help you. So there's a little bit of a challenge there. So feel free to ask any of us, because we all know, and we're certainly not going to admit to the other staff members that we don't. We're going to figure it out. So but the computer access is a great resource, and we do have mobile printing, so you can send something from home and have it printed, even if you have a computer at home but don't have a printer, or don't want to pay for those expensive cartridges to print in color. So we do have a lot of resources like that, and faxing and scanning, making copies, all of those services are available to you as well. Thank you for reminding me of that, Bettina.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that people knew that, because a lot of times that's important to people who either can't afford a computer, or their computer is down for some reason. And so to note, because I know that when we are there, there's a lot of traffic on those computers. So I was going to make sure that you mentioned that. So again, thank you. We will hold questions until after Laquidra does her presentation. And once Laquidra is complete, then we'll open it up for questions. So put those questions in the chat, or put we will also be, if you have any questions, if you're on social media, put those questions in, and we will make sure that we answer those questions before we end the program. We'll also be able to unmute your mic and ask questions if you're on Zoom. So again, thank you, Carolyn Burnett. Now, our next presenter will be Laquidra Giles. Laquidra says she grew up in Marks, Mississippi, and she graduated from the University of Mississippi with a bachelor's of social work degree. Woo-hoo, go social workers. She's currently employed at the Aaron E. Henry Community Health Center as a community health worker and outreach coordinator. And she also works with the marketplace as a marketplace navigator with Oak Hill Regional CDC. So welcome, Laquidra. And we do thank you for being able to share this valuable resource with us today.
Good morning, everyone. You all may know me. My name is Laquidra. I currently work at Aaron E. Henry Community Health Center in Basefield, Mississippi. I was in Clarksdale, but they moved me over to the Basefield Clinic. So it's a smaller clinic, but we all still offer the same services. So I'll go over the services that we offer at the clinics, and I'll tell you about the different locations. Okay, so we have 4 clinics. We have the Basefield Clinic, which I'm located at. We have the Clarksdale Clinic, which is the largest clinic. We also have a clinic in Coldwater, Mississippi. It's the MJ Edwards Satellite Clinic. And we also have a clinic in Tunica, Mississippi. We also have 2 school bases. We have the Quitman County School Base, the Cahoma County School Base, and also we have the Tunica County School Base. And we offer a wide range of services. So I will go over them with you all. We offer behavioral health care, care coordinator, diabetic foot care, disease state management, drug screening, exercise therapy, family medicine, family planning, health education, HIV screening and care, internal care, mobile health services, nutrition, optometry, oral health care, outreach and enrollment, pediatrics, public transportation, school-based services, social services, sports physical, vision, WIC certification, and also women's health. At the clinic that I work at, we don't have a area for children, but we can see children. So Clarksdale, they have the pediatric wing, which is the largest clinic. We're open every day from 8 to 5. And we also offer a night clinic at the Basefield location on Mondays. We close at 7 o'clock on Mondays. So they just started back doing the night clinics. Right now, we're doing a lot of COVID testing and also COVID vaccination. So here in Basefield, we do COVID vaccine every Wednesday. You just have to call the clinic. We'll screen you and put you on the list. And also you have to bring in your vaccination cards because we have consumers coming from different areas trying to get vaccinated. Because some of them, they didn't take their vaccine here. We also we offer the Moderna vaccine at this location. We don't have any other vaccine. But in Clarksdale, I think they have the Pfizer and the Moderna. You can call to any location to get vaccinated. Let me see. And also, we also offer a sliding scale program here. So that means if a patient doesn't have any kind of income, they can call the clinic. We'll screen them and we'll place them on a sliding scale program. So sliding fee program is a discounted program, which is offered by Erin and Henry Community Health Center. You just have to bring in your last 4 check stubs. Some consumers, they don't have check stubs, so they have to bring proof of anyone who's paying their bills. If they can't provide that, the office visit fee would be $250. Most of the time, the patient, they will come up with some kind of information to show proof because the office visit, they're not free. Most people think Erin and Henry is a free clinic, but we're not. But we just offer services at a discounted rate. And also you have to pay for the in-house labs and also the outside labs. So the in-house labs, I think they run like $5 for the in-house lab. And if they have to send them off, they're like $15 a piece. We also have a Ryan White program here. We have a Ryan White community health worker. So any patient who's needing Ryan White services, they can go to either location and they'll place them on a program. They do like their blood work. They offer some other services. I think sometimes they help them pay their bills. They get their medications. They help them out with their medications. And I think it's other things that they do with the Ryan White patients as well. And also, let's see, I think there's some more things. And also, like we have the open enrollment program. I'm the navigator. We also have certified application counselors. We have some at the other location who got recertified. So we also help people who are uninsured. If they can't afford the insurance, we'll ask them if they want to become a patient of Erin and Henry. We can put them on the sliding scale program, which we have a lot of patients that are on the sliding scale program. And also the mobile units, they're located at the, okay, I see a question. Okay, yes, we do COVID testing. We do COVID testing here in Basefield Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. You have to call the clinic. We start at 1:30 up until 4 o'clock. You have to call the clinic, but you can't come in the inside. We screen you, make you drive around the back, and someone will come out and test you. Let's see what else. And also at the Clarksdale location, we also have an optometry program. It's only located in Clarksdale. They used to come around to the different sites, but you have to go to Clarksdale where they're located. And also the foot nurse, he comes here every so often, but he makes his own schedule for any patient who needs foot care, like those diabetic patients, hypertension patients. We have that program here. And also we have another community health worker here. she works with those patients who have trouble with their hypertension. I think they send them like blood pressure cups on to monitor their blood pressure and also help them out with their nutritional needs. Let's see. And also we have a DARS program here. It's a transportation program for any consumer who need their transportation need. It's located in Clarksdale. I think there is a fee that you have to pay, but they take you around to all of your appointments, to any appointment that you need. And also I think they do other things, but I'm not super sure with the DARS program, but it's located in Clarksdale at the administrative building. If you want any information on that program, you can call the Clarksdale. Let me see. Do you all have any questions so far?
There's a question, Laquidra, they will know, is there a cost for them taking the COVID test at your sites?
Well, from my understanding, you don't have to pay the copay, but I think they do charge your insurance. You don't pay the copay, they do charge your insurance.
And then there was another question wanting to know if people can go to the WIN Job Center to get proof of unemployment. Are there other income documentations?
Yes, ma'am. And also some people who have like Social Security, they have to just bring in their awards letter to be placed on the sliding scale fee program.
Now, let me ask you a question in terms of types of consumers that you see. Are they only low income type, or do anybody, even if they have a job related health insurance, can be that?
We see anybody here. I was just touching bases on that slide fee program, but yes, we see anybody who has Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Wear Care. We see anybody. Like we do all kind of screenings, all kind of physical. We just don't see that many children at this site, but in Clarksdale, they have a pediatric wing where they see children, but we see all consumers. It's not only for low income consumers.
And I just wanted to make that clear, because a lot of people think because it's a qualified health center, if it's only low income, but it could be the medical home for anybody.
Yes, ma'am. It's for anybody. I know some people think that it's a free clinic, because we had someone call here asking were we a free clinic. You know, we explain to them no, because if you don't show proof of your income, it's a $250 your office visit. You have to pay $250 plus your lab fees.
Okay. Are there any other questions? We're opening up for questions for Laquidra and for Carolyn.
Yes, this is Pastor Montgomery. Thank you for your information. How would you handle an emergency there if someone showed up with an emergency there?
At the clinic?
Yes.
Okay, could you, what type of emergency?
Well, let's just say somebody swallowed something or the child, and they rushed them up there, and because of the insurance and confidentiality and those type of things, and the process of the paperwork and verifying income, those type of things, how would you handle an emergency if somebody just showed up and said, this is my child?
Okay, like I said, we don't see children here, but we have had older adults come up here with chest pain. And the only thing that I see them do, they have to call 911, because we're a patient-centered medical home and they don't want anyone dying on their time. They end up calling 911 for those type of patients. So they don't treat them. If you have a serious emergency, they have to call 911 to come and get you.
Thank you, because I could very easily say, well, listen, there's a clinic up there, there's emergency, let me call that. So the best thing for me to do emergency, just call 911.
Yes, sir. They call 911 because they don't want anyone dying on their time.
Thank
yes,
you,
sir. Mm-hmm. I think I see another question in the box. Let me see. Okay, so it said, what are some of the services we provide for young people ages 13 through 19? Okay, so at the school basis, they do those. Let me see. Let me get out of this. They do those EPSTD screening for the children, like the sports physicals. They do those services for those children ages 13 through 19. But we do have a provider here who do see some children, but some of the providers here don't see children at this clinic. but they do their screenings. So they do them at the school base as well, because one of the nurses that works here, she works at the school base on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So at the school base is only the children that they see?
Yes, ma'am. Only children that are located at those schools that they're at.
Are there any other questions? Are there questions for Caroline? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Laquidra. We really appreciate the information. And I'm assuming that many of the services that you offer at Aaron Henry are offered at any of the qualified health centers throughout.
Offer at the location, different locations, and out of the locations as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we want to thank you. We just wanted to make people aware of the services that are available in our community for families and for children. And you hear about all the wonderful services that we have at Aaron E. Henry, but also at the public libraries. And please, the public libraries are still open. And since a lot of our children are homebound, a lot of adults are homebound, I suggest that you maybe think about checking out some of the books that they have there and create your own family night. Make your own popcorn, read a book, or one of those fantastic puzzles that they talked about, or watch a movie at home. And
Yes.
Just remember that when you don't, if you're a low income family, or even if you're a family that have lots of financial resources,
Like we had the exercise.
that this is a way that you can get together with your family, with mom, and enjoy yourself. You don't. It's an activity that, since you can't, a lot of us are not going out to movies, you can bring the movies to you.
Yes,
I will just mention that most of our branches are doing what we call take and make, because we know that people don't necessarily want to come to programs, but we are doing programs at all of our libraries in-house again. But we have lots of activities that you can just pick up and take home and do. We're also getting packets every month from the DeSoto County Extension Service with lots of ideas for family programs. And you can come get puppets and do your own puppet show at home.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And also,
that sounds like fun. I'm
and
sorry,
also,
Pete.
I think, I don't know. We also have the exercise program. It's located in Clarksdale. We have an exercise therapist for anyone. I think you have to be a patient. I think so. I'm not sure at the moment, but he's a new exercise therapist. They offer exercise program in Clarksdale.
So we just called the Clarksdale number. Do you know that number offhand, Laquidra?
Let me see, because I know they have a new building. I don't know this pamphlet. You know what? Let me find. They have a new building, a new location. It's in Clarksdale. It's not at the clinic. They have a new administrative building. It's located at that building. I have to get the number because I don't have that number, but I do have the number to the Clarksdale Clinic.
Okay, and then they could find out from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you put that number, if you would give us that number, that would be fine. Okay. And also know that we will be posting the information on our website, so you can also be able to go. We'll get the information, and you will be able to go to our website and get that information at a later date.
Okay.
So that's great. And we will also post. I have some websites here that link to the library, and also for Aaron E. Henry. So we'll have that information, those resources posted on our webpage, on our Healthy Kids webpage. And so again, ladies, I really appreciate you being here. We appreciate the information that you shared. I don't see, okay, Laquidra did put the Clarksdale Clinic number is 662-624-2504. 662-624-2504. So again, we hope that the information that you shared will drive traffic to you, because we want to make sure that all people have health insurance in the state of Mississippi. And we also want to make sure that our minds are being opened up and utilized in every way possible. And I really like the idea of the being able to come in and our students being able to begin to prepare for their necessary tests that they need to take in order to get into college. Just remember that the library does not just have books; they have all kinds of wonderful resources. So thank you again. Yes, Laquidra, did you have something you wanted to say?
And also, I think I forgot to mention, we also have behavioral health here. We have a licensed clinical social worker. She's in Clarksdale. She used to be here in Basefield, but they do come to the site if they're needed. We do have social workers here too, but we have a licensed clinical social worker who does therapies with any patient who needs it. Her name is Carolyn Quinn.
Carolyn Queen?
Carolyn Quinn. She's a licensed clinical social worker. Okay. She's in Clarksdale, but she comes to any site.
All right. And right now we know with this COVID, yes, a lot of us could use some clinical therapy. Ma'am. So reach out and make sure that you get any kind of help that you need, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional. Reach out to the clinic and reach out with our mental health. Library have a lot of just reading, and the puzzles and all those kinds of things are good for that also. So let's just know that we have two valuable resources in our community, and they stand ready and willing to assist us at during the hours of service. And so, do you offer telehealth services there, Laquidra?
Yes, ma'am. They offer those services to patients who really need them. I know when COVID came, they were doing telehealth, but now most of the patients have been coming in. Unless they have tested positive for COVID, then they'll do a telehealth visit on them.
Wonderful. And also, are you a site where people can get the free testing kits for COVID?
I don't know if they have the testing kits here yet. They haven't said anything about the testing kits. I know they're testing people. They're going outside swabbing them, and they get the results within 15 minutes.
Well, I know that there is a federal website that you can go to now. And Carolyn, right, would you be able to help them if they called you to get that information that they can go to and order those home kits?
Yes, we certainly can.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said they haven't mentioned the testing kits here yet.
Okay. Are there any other questions or concerns that people have? If not, I'll say thank you, ladies. This has been some very valuable information, and we are just so glad to have you here. And once again, we encourage our audience to share today's webinar with their social media networks. Feel free to post questions or comments in the Zoom. If you have questions later, feel free to go to our website and post those questions, and we'll be happy to try to answer them for you. Our next Thursday, Wednesday parent resource chat will be the third Wednesday in February, which is February the 16th. We look forward to seeing you there. And you can learn more about us at www.oakhillregionalcdc.com and www.healthykidsms.org. Again, www.oakhillregionalcdc.com and www.healthykidsms.org. Once again, we want to acknowledge our board chair, Jennifer Garrett, and our executive director, Dr. Michael O'Miner. This has been a production of the Oak Hill Regional Community Development Corporation, belonging, building, and bridging in the Mid-South region and across the state of Mississippi. And if there are no other questions, no other concerns, we're going to sign off on the social media. However, we're going to stay on Zoom for just